Our newscast this morning is sponsored by Dig It Excavating, bringing 30 years of excellence to every job. For all your excavation needs, call Glenn at 214-4292. During this week's Missoula City Council meeting, they voted to approve plans for municipal ownership of mountain water. The vote comes before the Montana Supreme Court has even ruled on pending litigation. During the meeting, Mountain Water Company President John Kappas testified, saying the city's management plan was lacking.
You did leave out some critical pieces, including reasonable and just rates per Montana law, equality amongst customer classifications, interest and refunds on and of customer deposits, refunds of tap deposits, and water disinfection standards, all while increasing the customer's responsibility to service line ownership and still having fines and misdemeanors.
Kappas went on to contrast a municipal water system to a private one, saying the city could not provide customers with the same protections currently afforded under ownership by Liberty Utilities.
The equity investment provides protection for customers, employees, and bond investors should revenues or plans not go as anticipated. The same protection does not exist under city ownership with 100% debt financing. All the risk is placed on the bond investors, customers, employees, and taxpayers if the city can't meet its financial obligations or your business plan.
The final vote of approval for the municipal water system plan was 10-1. Only City Councilwoman Michelle Kerr is voting against. Julie Armstrong abstained. Harlan Wells was absent from the vote. Missoula Police Department has been made aware of that unknown person or entities have been spoofing residents in the city of Bozeman with a phone number that returns to the Missoula Police Department. The act of disguising your caller ID is referred to as spoofing, and the police departments received calls from Bozeman as well as former residents of Bozeman. The caller is apparently accusing the recipient of being involved in an investigation, but thus far has not demanded any money. The Missoula Police Department is not making these calls. They advise if you receive such a call, ask the caller for identification, then hang up and contact the Missoula Police Department. The state office that handles car titles and registration is moving from Deer Lodge to Helena later this year. The Montana Standard reports the Title and Registration Bureau's move in November will affect 35 employees who mostly reside in Deer Lodge, Anaconda, and Butte. Montana Department of Justice spokesman John Barnes said the employees will have to make the hour-long commute to Helena if they want to keep their jobs. He says the state pays $180,000 a year for the current building, and that figure would nearly double come with a 10-year lease if they stayed. Testimony began yesterday at the Grant Creek Inn before the Human Rights Commission in the case of Josh Clark versus Missoula County Sheriff T.J. McDermott. On the first day, now retired Sheriff Carl Gibson testified on behalf of his former undersheriff Josh Clark. Counsel for the County of Missoula, Steve Carey, asked Ibsen about a domestic violence case regarding former Deputy Paige Pavolone back in 2014, and a letter critical of Ibsen from the DCI in Helena. Ibsen said no one contacted him from the DCI.
One of the things we do as cops is we investigate everything. Doesn't matter whether you want to talk to the people involved or not, you talk to everybody by the wording of the letter, and this is what I've informed the Attorney General of. I think I would assume I was a prime player in it. I was maybe even the prime focus of it.
Ibsen said that kind of investigation would not happen at the sheriff's office.
If Sheriff McDermott or I or Under Sheriff Clark or Under Sheriff Johnson had that happen with one of their detectives, there's a really, really good chance that investigator would not have a job anymore. We talk to everybody involved. But what appears to be the prime player in this whole incident, the number one egregious action guy, was never even consulted.
Testimony will continue through tomorrow. Iowa officials have revoked a stop work order on an oil pipeline in the northwest part of the state, where tribal officials object to disrupting sacred American Indian land that includes burial grounds. Department of Natural Resources spokesman Kevin Baskins told the Des Moines Register the agency granted Texas-based Dakota Access LLC an amendment to its sovereign lands construction permit. Instead of digging a trench through the Big Sioux River Wildlife Management Area, the pipeline will be built about 85 feet underground using special boring equipment. State archaeologist John Durshuk said in an email that the method is a satisfactory avoidance procedure. The Missoula Urban Indian Health Center has asked officials and the Board of Regents to ban alcohol from the Payne Family Native American Center on campus. The issue arose during a conference in May, and a letter was sent to the Native American Studies Department and to the Board of Regents. In part, it read, and I quote, "Alcohol serves as a symbol and a constant reminder of its historical use to undermine and conquer Native peoples, and to ensure the loss of tribal land through one-sided treaties benefiting non-Native parties. Alcohol has and continues to destroy Native individuals, families, and tribal communities," end quote. Yesterday, Vice President for Integrated Communications Peggy Kaur said UM President Roy Sengstrom had not seen the letter until it was forwarded to him by KGVO News.
He had not received any complaints about serving of alcohol at any of the events where there has been alcohol served in the past. So this was new to him, and the dean of the law school also has never heard any complaints about anything particular that happened in late May or early May.
Kaur said she was personally moved by the letter.
I think when someone has a concern, and I thought it was very heartfelt in expression, I know that the president wants to really respectfully consider that and have a full conversation.
The letter said the Payne Center, quote, serves as a symbol of honoring our ancestors, our tribal communities, and the overall ongoing strength and resilience of Native peoples, end quote. New HIV cases have been reported in Flathead County over the past 2 weeks. Flathead County's Deputy Health Officer Hillary Hansen has more information about the outbreak.
We've had 2 new HIV cases in Flathead County, which is a high number for us in a short period of time. So what we're really doing at this point, we're still in the middle of investigating. We do a contact investigation to see who those folks have been in contact with, see if there's others that might be at risk of HIV in our community.
According to the State Department of Health and Human Services, there have been 10 instances of HIV in Montana this year. Yesterday, Montana Senator Steve Daines hosted a scoping meeting at MSU Billings to give Montana citizens an opportunity denied to them by the EPA and the Obama administration to voice their opinions on coal. Former State Senator Tom Tao of Billings said he helped to sponsor the original coal tax bill and was a principal proponent of the Montana Coal Trust Fund.
Montana is the treasure state. We have a valuable treasure, as Senator Keene has pointed out, in copper, and it's still there to a certain extent. Much of it is mine, but now the key is coal. That's the treasure of the treasure state.
Tao, however, said climate change must be a factor in what Montana does with its coal.
But we can't ignore climate change. We can't deny it. We've got to recognize if we're going to build, if we're going to mine this coal, we've got to make it clean.
Senator Daines will be on Talkback this morning to talk further about the coal industry in Montana. News Talk Times 6:13.
News Talk KGVO,
Missoula's official weather station. Ample sunshine is expected today and Thursday with our high temperatures in the low 80s. Thursday night, we'll see an increasing cloud cover with showers and thunderstorms possible by Friday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.